Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Extreme Masters Global Challenge. We have a little bit of Showmatch action today with TheLittleOne against NaDa. TheLittleOne, probably the most famous StarCraft 2 player around right now, did get eliminated from the tournament yesterday, but has such amazing creativity that he's known all around. Of course, NaDa, he's no stranger to anyone, Sean.
I can't believe I'm sitting here right now,
it's just
ready
like a nerd's
to commentate
I know
this
it's
game.
like the best two players in the universe, and it's
Oh my God.
best of three.
I mean, this is NaDa versus TLO. I just can't stress that. This is NaDa versus TLO. Oh my God. And we're going to be watching this. Oh my God.
So for any of you who haven't been like us and watched all the StarCraft matches for the last 12 years, NaDa is like probably the most famous StarCraft player of all time, along with players like Boxer and Yellow and Reach. NaDa was at the #1 of the Kespa rankings for months. I think it was probably like 15 or 16 months in a row. He was the #1 ranked player. He has 6 major tournament title wins. He was the first ever Golden Mouse winner, which is winning 3 OGN Star Leagues. And I mean, even after 12 years of playing, I think there have been only 3 players to do that. I mean, it's very, very impressive. It's absolutely, actually impossible to do that.
I know. I mean, this is like one of the most favorite StarCraft 1 players of all time against arguably the most favorite StarCraft 2 player,
especially
so far. In Germany, of course. And oh my God, it's going to be a TVT, and this is going to be pretty interesting. I mean, I actually don't know what to expect from this game.
Because no one's really seen any games of NaDa.
I didn't even know he was playing StarCraft 2, and now he's playing in this show match. Wow.
Yeah, but the thing is, NaDa is well known for being an incredibly smart Terran player. I mean, just absolutely genius in StarCraft 1. And those same tools that you develop in Brood War translate to StarCraft 2 so well. In fact, most of the top StarCraft 2 players now were ex-StarCraft players, were ex-RTS players. So it's interesting to see what he's going to be bringing to the table. In particular, because StarCraft 2 is segregated into those 3 servers, the US, the Asia, and the Europe servers, playstyles tend to follow different trends there. So I'm very curious to see what the sort of weird clash of TheLittleOne playing largely only on Europe and, of course, NaDa playing on the Asia servers.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be really interesting to see. As you did say, the styles change so much. I mean, I've spoke to Hydra and Autosis about this, and they do agree that styles are different on every server. It's very obvious to us. And I don't know, is NaDa going to play, is he going to play aggressive? Is he going to play passive? Is he going to play macro game? I have no idea.
In Brood War, NaDa was well known for doing lots and lots and lots of harassment, and once his opponent was worn down, moving in with a giant push. That's why they called him the Tornado Terran, because he made so many vultures, and in the end, he would just build up this giant tank army and just whomp over his opponent for the win. And our first map is going to be on Metalopolis, well, I guess a little bit of a weird map, because especially in Terran vs. Terran, all the different pairs of position create very different games. Cross map is very long. Close positions results in a lot of aggression. If you're close by air, then Banshees and drops become much more effective.
Yeah, definitely. And TLO is going to be trying to do this. He must be feeling awesome right now. He's playing against NaDa, one of the all-time StarCraft players.
Even if you lose, you're happy.
Even if you lose, he's going to be so happy right now. And all right, we're going to go into the game straight away. So no further ado, let's get straight into this game.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We have Liquid, TheLittleOne, spawning in the left position as the blue Terran, and in the bottom we have NaDa as the red Terran. NaDa, I cannot wait to see him play, as I have for many years stayed up till 5 in the morning to watch his matches live in America.
Yeah, definitely. Look at the APM tag right now. I mean, NaDa is a Korean player, and we look at this, it's already soaring up already. That is incredible. Look at TLO's APM, not quite as high as NaDa's right now.
At a paltry 168 to NaDa's several hundred.
I know, I was actually watching NaDa warm up just now. I was sitting behind him. Oh my God, how fast is NaDa? He is so fast. It wouldn't surprise me if he could make a perfect split in StarCraft 2.
And I mean, at this point in the game, it's not particularly useful. It just means he's really building the hell out of that first supply depot, which of course does burrow. Always want to go ahead and put those down underneath the ground so your SCVs don't get blocked while mining. Barracks going down at a very ordinary time. Nothing, well, actually not really any chance to do anything creative. You really have to make those 2 buildings in order right at the outset.
Yeah, definitely. We haven't seen any early gas from either players, and the gas actually, as I say that, the gas does go down for both players, but there is no early gas, which doesn't mean we're going to see fast Reapers at all, but that isn't going to say we're not going to see Reapers at all in this game. Reapers are so good in this matchup because you can scout extremely well with them, you can do sick harassment with them as well. I mean, Are we going to see Reapers? Do you think we will?
I mean, I doubt it. In these positions, I mean, coincidentally, looking at it would have been good if they did that. But, you know, I mean, Little doesn't know at all where his opponent is. Little has just now scouted and knows that it's not going to be an aggressive, close game. His opponent isn't in the nearby position. But it still could be a very long, drawn-out match. So he doesn't want to risk doing Reapers and have to end up in some sort of cross-map play.
Yeah, definitely. And as we've seen through TLO throughout the entire tournament, he actually gets an extra SCV before that orbital command. And I'm actually thinking it's not a mistake anymore, because he's done that so many times. If it was a mistake, he would have cleaned that up straight away. But he's actually favoring to get an extra SCV before that orbital command, which is pretty standard for every player.
So NaDa doing an extremely late scout. Both the two SCVs meet one another. So Little does definitively know that NaDa is at the bottom left position, but he doesn't know what he's going to be up against. Looks like NaDa is throwing down a very fast factory, as well as the Little Neither player has taken their second gas yet. So again, mirror builds, but still a lot of potential for deviation coming up.
Yeah, definitely. And both players are not actually going to be able to scout anything right now because of the late scout from both players and going the incorrect way to actually scout. They have no idea what's actually going, because the SCV cannot enter the base. These Marines are going to defend both bases for both players. So they're actually going to have to use a scan and use that early energy instead of a mule to use a scan.
Now here's the first difference between the players. We do see that NaDa is getting a very early refinery after he's taken this factory. The Little hasn't gotten a refinery in his main yet. We've seen him do a lot more aggression with Marines and Hellions at the outset. This would actually be an opportune time for the Little to do some sort of fast starport there. It does get thrown down. And we see that also in NaDa's base he's throwing down a starport, but because he got that second gas early, I would anticipate a Banshee coming out very, very, very quickly from NaDa.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm not sure how NaDa actually plays TVT, but Hellion is so vital with these early Marine pushes, and they are going to battle well. They're actually NaDa's pulling back, but he is not building the Hellion, and that actually could be crucial. TLO has a Hellion coming down, and if he decides to put pressure on NaDa straight away, that Hellion's going to do so much damage, especially if these Marines are lined up in one line.
Oh no, and look, NaDa has lifted his barracks. He can't make units there. He is adding the tech lab onto his factory, and he's making a starport. He cannot add any more units. This first push from NaDa, or first push from Little could end the game right now.
Yeah, definitely. This Hellion, he's actually moving in. TLO is moving in. He sees it. He sees him out. Is he going to? Oh, he gets a flame off with that Hellion. NaDa is forced to pull 5 SCVs off.
With a great control by NaDa, just picking it off without really losing anything. Little is going to be forced back, and it looks like NaDa is going for the very early tank Viking plane. Wow, finding enough money to throw down a command center as well in the Little base. It looks like we see a medevac coming out. Very interesting, but oh, NaDa's barracks scouts everything that's going on.
Yeah, definitely. This is a really smart play. As I was saying, they didn't actually scout each other earlier on. And NaDa choosing to actually use a barracks, which is so much cheaper than using a scan, because the energy for the mules is so much more efficient. And as I said, that look at TLO, he's actually dropping in the base of NaDa right now.
He wants to try to move in with a Hellion Marine composition. The Marines can do damage pretty quickly to everything. Whoa, one of them's getting left behind. That's a big mistake there. And oh no, NaDa finds it. And he is moving back to try to do the attack. But if Little can control this properly, he might be able to pick this tank off. At the very least, he's getting a lot of SCV kills. And all those Marines are still alive. And remember, the medevac does heal those Marines. And it's just too much for StarCraft 2 to handle. Completely shuts the servers down.
I know. Oh my god. NaDa is actually kind of on the back foot right there. All he has is a tank. 2 Vikings are about it. And actually...
And he loses connection for the win for Little but either way, that would have been a potentially devastating attack. I mean, if we just go back and look at the game,
I'm actually not sure if we could have held that attack anyway. I mean, he had a tank that was nowhere near completion, but he did have one that was already out. 2 Vikings were on the way, but he had about 6 Marines and 2 Hellions with that medevac as well. He could have used the medevac to pick up his Hellions, put them back down again. As long as TLO had good micro, NaDa could have been in a lot of trouble right there.
And it's a really interesting timing attack that Little was able to pull off. I mean, a lot of people forget that medevac can actually heal the Marines. So in the middle of that encounter, right when Little dropped in the main, I was really amazed at how much damage he was actually able to do. I mean, he killed off all the Marines and still had 5 of his own left over and that Hellion. And when it was just the tank there, it would have been extremely tough for NaDa to be able to recover. And it looked like Little was just constantly rallying from those 3 unit-producing structures, the barracks, the factory, and the starport. None of them with add-on, just being very aggressive and setting up for a fast expansion. Yeah. So here we have NaDa spawning in the left position as the red Terran, and in the top we have Little as the blue Terran. And note that these positions are the aggressive positions. It's going to be very, very difficult to do the same build that LittleOne did, and in general, very difficult to do sort of expanding.
Yeah, definitely. This might actually favor TLO because he's close to NaDa, and he will be wanting to put early aggression. Like you were saying, he had 3 production structures way pointed to NaDa straight away in that game. TLO just wants to go straight away and hit NaDa as fast as possible and as hard as possible. Both players will, it depends when they scout each other, which way are they going to scout?
That's true. I mean, LittleOne is scouting a little bit earlier, and I think that's actually going to favor NaDa, weirdly enough, because NaDa does like the late scout. It looked like he wasn't even intending on doing that big of a deviation. I think he just really wants to know where his opponent's position is. So if he can conserve those SCVs as long as possible, I think NaDa's going to be happy. And I also want to give a big shout out to the fine folks at Reddit for upvoting the ESL TV stream. Please continue to do so, as it will make Apollo and I quite happy.
It will make us extremely happy, Danny, and we will be smiling all day long.
No way. Is he actually scouting the other direction?
I know, that's what I was just thinking. I mean, usually I would have scouted downward in the downwards direction, but no, TLO's actually scouting in the incorrect way, and it's going to be an extremely late scout. And just like the previous game, they are both players going to have Marines out by the time the scout gets around, and they're actually not going to be able to see what's going on. It wouldn't surprise me if not, well, actually, I was going to say it wouldn't surprise me if NaDa tried to scout with his barracks again, but lifting the barracks in this direction is so dangerous, actually.
Yeah. It's much too difficult to be able to do that. I do think LittleOne's drop might work a little bit effectively as well, because again, this ridge is so close between the 2 locations. But still, I'm very leery of doing anything other than big tank Viking plays in these positions, because you can only really lock down one base well.